my channel. My name is Hannah and welcome to the Heatwave reading vlog. It is currently 100 degrees here, or 40 degrees Celsius, and luckily we have the AC. That's what you can hear in the background, but we have like everything closed up tight. We have the kitchen door closed, so that's just one less area to try to cool. Ori keeps walking around me everywhere. And tomorrow is supposed to be even hotter, so essentially these 2 days are just hunker down inside, do as little as possible, and just try to stay cool. So I just finished 2 chapters in Les Miserables, and I thought at the end of last week that these chapters would be getting into the ambush that Thénardier has been planning, but that's not the case. We're still in setup mode, essentially. We are at the Gorbeau tenement though, but pretty much it's just kind of describing what everyone's roles are, what everything looks like, how everything is kind of set up. And Marius has the Thénardiers thinking that he is out, and they even went in his room to check, but he hid under the bed the first time, and the second time the wife went into his room to grab chairs, like they're literally just stealing his chairs, and he was up there where the peephole is, and no lights were on or anything, so it was dark enough she didn't see him up there. But it's just like, he is getting so freaking lucky. Pretty much Thénardier got some items from the blacksmith. It's like a rope ladder with like hooks on the edge, so I assume he would like put that over a window to climb out or something. But he also has some other things that I don't exactly understand what they are or are going to be used for. And the daughters are out on the lookout, and pretty much everything is just in place, and it's just a few minutes before 6, and so they're just waiting for Jean Valjean and Cosette to show up, essentially. So I'm gonna read just the last little bit of the chapter I just finished, because I think it really gives like the vibe that's going on right now. This is on page 673. It says, Marius got the pistol out of his right-hand fob pocket and cocked it, making a sharp click as he did so. Jondrette started and half rose from his chair. "Who's there?" he called. Marius held his breath, and after a moment Jondrette laughed, saying, "I'm getting jumpy. Nothing but a board creaking." Marius kept the pistol in his hand. So, I mean, I assume that if Marius shoots the gun, he's not actually going to hit anyone. Like, I definitely can't imagine him killing anyone in this scenario, but I do find it interesting. Like, I still can't get over the fact that Javert just gave him a fucking gun, and he's just now waiting for stuff to happen. So I'm assuming, since everything now seems to be set up, I don't know if there's anything else Victor Hugo can describe before Jean Valjean gets there. So the next chapter is called The Two Chairs, which is what the wife stole from his room. So I'm not sure what that's going to be. Okay, and the chapter after that is called The Visitors, so maybe there is one more chapter of weird setup. But I'll probably read both of those tomorrow then. But for the rest of the week, we honestly don't have any plans at all, just because we've been in the middle of a heat wave. It's been so hot, like there just hasn't really been any reason to make plans or even try to bother going out. It is supposed to storm on Wednesday, and that's kind of what breaks the heat, but then it gets hotter every day that passes again. So I'm not sure like what is going to end up happening with that. But our friends that are moving to Dublin, they finally have an apartment, and they are moving. It's now 9 days from now, because yesterday was 10 days. So at pretty much the end of July, they're moving officially. And so we're hoping to get one more D&D session in. So I'm hoping that means that maybe sometime this week then we'll play. I don't really know. It's so hard to say, because we'll plan something and then it gets canceled like so much. But I've been in the house for like a week straight now, almost. So it would be nice to be able to get out and socialize a bit and play some D&D. So yesterday was the day. It ended up being 105 degrees, which I think might be the hottest it's ever been here. Either way, it was record-breaking. I was not up to reading at all. I didn't read the other book I was reading either. It was a lot hotter in here than the previous day, even though there was only a 4-degree difference outside. I don't know if it's just because of how hot it had been like straight through or what, but it was miserable. And also there were fires popping up all over the city, and there was a wildfire about an hour away from us. Like, pretty much the whole area was going crazy, and just the world was on fire. And we could even smell the smoke from the wildfire. It was in a forest that's less than an hour from Paris. We could smell it. It was a little bit smoky in our apartment even, but we didn't know what was happening till late that evening, and so we were super paranoid that something was either happening in our building or with our air conditioning or what. Like, we had no idea. So that was a bit scary, but that was all handled pretty quickly. But yeah, yesterday was just way too chaotic and was mainly just focusing on trying to stay cool. So today I read 2 chapters and I am just up to when shit is going to go down. And I'm gonna save that chapter for tomorrow because I looked and it is 20 pages, which I think is the longest chapter so far in this. But pretty much what I read today was Jean Valjean getting there and entering the Thénardier's room and everything, and it's just him, Cosette isn't with him. So he walks in and Thénardier is instantly just like smoozing up to him and everything, and his wife sends away like the cab that Jean Valjean had taken, so he doesn't have a way to leave. And as they're talking, these guys just kind of sidle into the room and sit on the bed, and Jean Valjean's just like, who the fuck are these people? Because like, they're not wearing shirts, most of them don't have shoes, and their faces are covered in soot, which I guess is kind of common if you're working in like a mine or something. But I mean, obviously for this purposes, it was like to shield their identity and stuff. And Thénardier is just like, oh, those are my neighbors, like don't mind them, they're fine. And they're just kind of hanging around there. And it's like, how is this not super obvious that something weird is about to go down? So obviously Jean Valjean is getting like really suspicious and stuff. And Thénardier's wife even calls him the wrong name at some point, but says Jondrette, which is what they've been kind of been going by, but isn't the name that he had given Jean Valjean. So like, there's just so many red flags, and we pretty much end with Jean Valjean kind of being cornered and the signal pretty much raised for the trap to be sprung. Like, the chapter ends with Thénardier shouting at Jean Valjean, but never mind all that, don't you know me? I'm definitely excited to read the chapter tomorrow and see what ends up happening, because I just can't imagine Jean Valjean being that dumb and that oblivious and not being able to recognize them and stuff. So I'm almost wondering if it's like 4D chess kind of thing on his part of setting Thénardier up, but I don't know, and I'm wondering if Marius is actually going to use his gun and if Javert is going to show up. So a lot of stuff is going to happen in this next chapter. So my husband just came back in with some book packages, and I figured I might as well open them on camera. There is a... It's not called anime because it's a different country that does it. This is China, so I think it's called a danhua. And can you not eat the cardboard, please? These were originally novels, which is what I have here. And then it was turned into manhwa, which is basically what we know as like manga, but obviously it's different language, like different word use for it. And then it was turned into the danhwa, and that was on Netflix, and it's called Heaven Official's Blessing, which I keep calling it Heaven's Official Blessing. But I ended up really enjoying the show and really liking the characters and everything, and apparently it's super popular, and the artist is also super popular. But I'm interested in reading the novels now, so I actually ended up getting books 2 and 3, and not the first one, so I can't even read them right away because I'm pretty much waiting for them to be at a certain sale point. Like, it's hard for me to justify buying books, and so I just can't buy stuff at full price. It like kills me to do so. So these were the lowest point that I've ever seen them on sale, so that's why I picked up these ones first. So opening the first one. These are really thick and I'm dropping everything everywhere. So Book Depository always sends a bookmark, and this one is definitely a lot different than the last one I was sent. But here, okay, this is the second one. This is the second book. I know that in English, the books are divided up different than they are in the Chinese versions. So I think in the end, there's going to be more books in the English versions than there are in the original. I don't know, I just love the art style. And I know there's like some pictures throughout, but this is like a novel, and I'm just blown away at like how long it is. Oh, it's pretty inside too. Okay, how do I do this? There's how it looks inside. I don't know, I've never read novels like this before, and I know they're kind of gaining popularity. This is the author's name up here. I'll try to pronounce it, but I'm not sure if I'm going to pronounce it correctly, but Mo Zien Ton Ziu. I know people just generally call her MXTX, but I don't know, this is something completely different from what I'm normally into, but since I enjoyed the show so much, I really want to try the novels, and I already read all the chapters that are out of the manhwa as well. So that's volume 2. I'm gonna open what should be volume 3 now. It's so satisfying pulling the cardboard off of there. Okay. And it's the same bookmark, it looks like. Ooh, this one is blue. But here's the cover for the third one, and as you can tell, it is a bit of a romance. It's a certain style, and I know I'm not gonna be able to pronounce it correctly, so I'm just gonna like pop up here the word. That's like the genre that these are in, and it's pretty much about gods and ghosts, pretty much in this world. Throughout your life, you gather these like points, and when you get to a certain number of points, you can like ascend to heaven and pretty much become immortal. And these immortals can go back on Earth and do all sorts of different things, but like this guy, he's been demoted like so many times, and he's kind of like an outcast and everything, and there's also like a ghost world underneath all of this that kind of cause problems on Earth, and so the gods kind of try and solve them. And there are some really dark moments, like in the show it started off where it literally looked like a horror anime, and I was like, holy crap, what is this? But it's just so like gorgeously animated, and all the art around it is so gorgeous. I just instantly fell in love with it, and since this is my first like foray into this genre, I think it was pretty much a given I was gonna like it because I don't have anything to compare it to. So this is just something new I'm trying, and I'll probably talk about the first book when I eventually get it and read it.
We have found the wild Ori. Oh, look at that terrifying creature. We're going to try to make contact. Oh my god, he's being released. Oh Jesus, he attacks. He attack. Oh god! Retreat, retreat. Ah! Nope, nope. Why are you attacking me?
And editing Hannah here. Somehow I'm missing a clip, a little intro clip into this next part. I don't know what happened there, but essentially I am going to be showing you some things that I got from Mont Michel. We managed to get 5 coins from our trip to Mont Michel. They literally had like 100, so that's obviously too much, so I just picked some of my favorites and some of the ones from the machines, and obviously this one is from the Alligator Bay part of the trip. So here are all the fronts. This one's weird because it's like cockeyed here, but then on the back, it's straight. But like you can see how some of these are really, really cool on the back, which is why I got them. Like this is my favorite right here. And this is just the typical backing. But I love them. And then since I'm a child, here are 2 rocks that we picked up on the beach. And some shells. I tried to grab some different colors and stuff. Like this one's really pink, but it's hard to show up, especially on like the red background. And I don't know, I just really love stuff like this, and I could have just stayed on the beach and grabbed shells all day, which is why I tried not going on the beach again. So, I forgot to read Les Miserables yesterday. I really have no idea how it even happened. It was 10:30 at night and my brain just went, what about Les Mis? Just like, fuck. And I was super tired by then, so there was no way I was gonna read it, especially since this is it. This is the big chapter. The one that's about 20 pages and where all the shit's gonna go down. And so there was no way I was gonna do that tonight. So I am getting ready to start it right now. And I think the plan is going to be, I'll probably kind of interrupt my reading. Oh, she's talking to birds. But I'm probably going to interrupt my reading a few times to just kind of check in, give some thoughts. It really just depends on what's happening and if I have anything to say about it, basically. But before I start, I do think that Jean Valjean didn't bring Cosette because he knows what's going down, but I will soon find out. So Marius is a straight up coward. Like, he's really frustrating me right now. I think I've actually read most of the chapter. I think there's only like 6 pages left, but I hit a good spot to be able to say some thoughts. pretty much Thénardier reveals who he is, which immediately freaks Marius out. He almost faints and everything and almost drops the gun, because Marius is a fucking dumbass and is like, oh my god, this is the person that saved my dad, blah blah blah, even though it's a fucking lie. And Thénardier even tells the story of it and is like, I have the papers to prove it and blah 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 and all this stuff, and it's like, no, this is just a freaking farce. It's so stupid. And so Marius is having this internal crisis of like, oh my god, who do I help? And it's like, I don't know, maybe the person that's actually in trouble at the moment. So pretty much Marius has done absolutely nothing besides just have this weird internal conflict. So Jean Valjean gets jumped. He tries to jump out the window. They all pull him back in. And Thénardier tells them not to hurt him. So I'm not sure exactly why they haven't done that yet. And so they tie him to the bed and everything. And Thénardier is like, I want 200,000 francs. And has Jean Valjean write a letter to Cosette. But Thénardier won't say her name. And the whole time, Jean Valjean is playing dumb. He's saying he doesn't recognize Thénardier. He's saying, like, who is this girl you want me to write this to? Like, he's not acknowledging that he knows Cosette. So Thénardier has him write this letter saying, like, to come right away. I need you. Come here. The people with this note will take you to me. And, like, that's just so fucking suspicious. Like, I just feel like the whole thing just sounds fishy just from that. So the wife and one of the game people go to deliver this letter to Cosette and bring her back. And so I guess they're going to use her as like some leverage or something. I'm not exactly sure. But I'm assuming that Marius is going to do something, because obviously then the woman he loves is going to be in danger. But I don't know. I just feel like he's acting really fucking stupid right now. And it's like, just fucking end it. Just get the freaking police involved. Like, I don't know. He just feels so indecisive right now. So I'm just going to finish up these last few pages and come back then. I finished the chapter, and Marius is a fucking dumbass. Like, I am not the biggest fan of Marius in this book, and Jean Valjean just continues to prove how much of a badass he is. So Thénardier reveals that his plan is for them to go get Cosette, put her in a different carriage, and basically hold her hostage until the 200,000 francs are paid, and then they would let them all go, kind of thing. And so when Marius hears this, he's like, oh shit, they're not bringing her here, they're gonna keep her captive, oh my god, I made a mistake, I waited too long. And so he's just like agonizing, because he's like, I would risk, like, I would give my life to save hers, kind of thing. And it's just like, you waited too long, you motherfucker. But then the wife comes back and is like, he gave the wrong address, oh my god, that's not where he really lived. And she's like, you stupid man. And I'm gonna read a few sentences here from that interaction, because it's kind of funny. So this is on page 693, and Thénardier says, a false address? What did you expect to gain by that? Time, cried the prisoner in a ringing voice, and at the same moment he shook off the ropes that bound him. They had been cut. He was now only tied to the bed by one leg. So pretty much that whole time they'd been waiting, he had used something, they said the police had found it later, where it's basically a coin where he had taken two coins, hollowed out the insides, put them together, and inside was a watch spring, which he used to cut the ropes. And so that's what he had been doing while they'd been waiting for the wife to return. It's just like, aha! Much more useful than fucking Marius, who was just sitting there watching the whole time. So Jean Valjean grabs like the poker out of the fire and is like, you can do whatever you want to me, kind of thing, but you can't like make me write if I don't want to write, or talk if I don't want to talk. And he fucking burns his arm, and it's just like a pure dominance move, it seems, because I don't really know what else this would be useful for. And so they're all just like, what the fuck? And finally the husband and wife are like, just slit his throat, like, this is fucking ridiculous. And that's when Marius remembers that Eponine had written on a piece of paper when she had been in his room to prove that she could write. And she had wrote, like, beware, there are bogies around, which is police. So he folds that up and, like, throws it through that little peephole so it lands in the middle of their floor, and they're all like, oh my god, something fell. And they read it, and so they instantly start freaking out, because they're like, oh shit, the police are coming. Because they recognize that it was Eponine's handwriting, which they have now said her name finally, and so they think she had thrown it in through the window to warn them. And so they're like, okay, there's no time to kill this guy, just leave. And so they like put the rope ladder out the window and stuff, and they're arguing over who gets to go down the ladder first, when another unexpected thing happens, because of course Marius hasn't shot his fucking gun, because he is just too fucking coward to. So this is on page 697, right at the very end of this chapter, and it says, "Then," said one of the men, "we'll draw lots for who's to go first." "Are you crazy?" spluttered Thénardier. "Are you raving mad? We've got the law on our heels, and you want to stand round drawing lots out of a hat." "Perhaps you would like to borrow my hat," said a voice from the doorway. They swung round and saw that it was Javert. He stood there holding out his hat with a smile. Dun dun dun! So, enter Javert again. I wonder if Cosette kind of knows what was happening, and so she went and got him, or maybe Javert just got sick of fucking waiting for Marius to give the signal, since they had literally been waiting for like over an hour, and just kind of went in there anyway. I'm not really sure. I'm assuming that's gonna kind of be explained to us next, but Javert's there to try and save the day, but obviously he's gonna realize that Jean Valjean is there again, and so there's probably going to be some craziness with that. It actually didn't feel as long as it was. Like, when there's action happening, it's very quick to read. But the next chapter is called The Best of the Lot, and it's in, like, quotations. So I'm not sure what that's gonna be. But yeah, that one's only a few pages long. We're still in the same book, though, so it should just be a continuation of what's been happening. I hope it doesn't jump to something else. But, like, I really want to know if Jean Valjean recognized them. Like, I feel like he had to have. It just seems so strange and out of character for him to not have. So I'm definitely looking forward to getting some of those answers. But fucking Marius, like, I hope Javert fucking chastises him or something, cause like all he was supposed to do was fire a warning shot in the air to fucking tell the police to come in. Like, that doesn't seem that hard. But he's just way too conflicted and just cannot make decisions, like, at all. So until tomorrow, where hopefully we get some more answers.
Papa wants to go home. He closes the door on himself.
Okay, so it's actually Sunday. I ended up not feeling well after our trip to the museum yesterday, so that's why I don't really have any more clips of that day. But I just kind of wanted to come up here to close out the week. Yesterday, as you saw, we went to the Musée de la Vie Romantique, which is just a really small, cute museum. It's one of those where it used to be the home of a famous painter and then they converted it into a museum later on. And the permanent collection is free, but we paid to see the temporary collection as well. It was just a really nice way to spend the morning yesterday. We didn't have any plans for the weekend, so I just wanted us to get out of the house and do something. But like I said, I wasn't feeling the greatest after we got home. Like, I swear, just going out anywhere just kills me. So I didn't read any more Les Miserables, and I haven't read any more today, although I definitely plan on it. I really need to get out of this habit of like forgetting to read or whatever, but I will start fresh tomorrow with what I've read in the new reading vlog. So as always, thank you for hanging out with me. It is greatly appreciated, and until next time, bonne journée and au revoir.